and we're here to bring you the third edition of Beyond the Bleacherz here on Bleacherz, on E-Block Radio. And we have a full show for you guys today. 2 hours, prayers and answers. Our producer, Quincy Lewis, Hood Howard Stern, looked out for us. Saw how last week we still have more to talk about. And rented us 2 hours. So we have a lot to cover today. Just give you a rundown. It's been a busy weekend of sports. You got the MLB playoffs, Major League Baseball, college football, always exciting to me every Saturday. NFL doing their thing. A lot of controversy surrounding, the concussion going on in college sports and whether the coaches are handling them right. I mean, just so much going on, man. We're going to cover so much. Just to give you a little bit of a rundown. We're going to be discussing the playoffs in baseball first. This is October. So this is when the baseball season heats up for me at least. You watch it all year round. I don't know how you do it, but I really don't. I don't know how you do it, Hugh. I'm not a good baseball fan. I keep up with baseball so I can know that's what to talk about. But I can't watch 162 games. I can't do it.
It depends on how I feel sometimes too, man. Most times it got to be the powerhouse teams for me to watch. It gets interesting during the year, man. I've seen a lot of collapses in some of the teams, and I'm talking about like huge collapses, man. I seen at one point when the Oakland A's were like almost 11 and a half games over the Los Angeles Angels, and I said, man, Los Angeles Angels got too much talent on the roster. What's going on? You got one of the best players, if not the best player in baseball on that team. I know a lot of people might argue and say, Miggy, this year was a little bit of a down year, and he still had a great year. He's still batting 300. But Mike Trout, that kid's amazing. He's a 5-tool player, man. He can play. He got the power of the bat. He's good in the outfield. He got speed. He had everything that you would want. And the player's so young, and it's like, man, this kid's not even 26 yet, and he's doing that good.
And Trout was mentioned in the MVP talk, in the American League MVP talk, since he was a rookie.
Absolutely.
Looks like that dude is amazing. Yeah, and he only played half the season that year.
When he came up, that's when I think that the Los Angeles Angels really stepped up their game too, man. It's amazing to see these kids in the farm league, and when they come up, how great they play. For instance, Mike Trout, man, he was in the MVP votes every year with Miguel Cabrera. I was like that year when he had the Triple Crown. I said, don't you dare say that he's in the same league as Miguel when he won the Triple Crown. Last year, it wasn't really he won the Triple Crown. We're not going to talk about what happened, Chris Davis cheater. And that's the reason why he didn't get it that second year, but he still got the MVP. This year, I think it's definitely going to be Mike Trout year. Because you got him, Josh Hamilton, Pujols, David Freese, man. You got a lot of good bats over there, man. And the guys out there like Kyle Gill and Cole, and the guys who I didn't really think that really got their respect. It was like their leadoff hitter led the league doing home runs. And it was just really good to see them after being down 11 and a half games. They just ran away with their division. I think they clinched third because I believe the Nats clinched first, and then the Orioles clinched, and then that's when, the Angels clinched their division. We had more of a nail biter with the Tigers because they won theirs. It was like almost the end of the season. And I was pissed because we were up so many games. And our problem basically came to it was like they got Java Chamberlain. I thought that was a good pickup. I love the Roger Davis because I thought it was going to be a lot of stolen bases, but I was a little shaky on the Joe Nathan. And I'm kind of mad right now with Troy Hunter because he's the one who kept pushing for us to get him and going back for this man.
Now, did you like the David Price trade?
Oh yeah, I think that was the best thing they did, man. That really made me feel like that this year that we can actually win it all with him as one of the pitchers in our rotation, because a lot of people, when I first saw it, they looked like, well, you know, David Price, huh? What's going on? And I'm like, well, you guys playing? The ones who didn't know baseball, I had to jump in and say, listen, for any given day, David Price can outpitch anybody in our rotation. I might get a lot of people arguing with me, but he can go out there and he can outpitch Verlander on his good day, and even Scherzer. They have to stay on their game when a David Price is on the team. It just really made me feel good that from the last 3 years, we got all the MVPs, or basically, let me take that back, the Cy Young of our sport today. And it's funny because they're all American League Cy Young guys, too. And to put them on the team and make them in the 5-team rotation, I thought that was pretty good. But the scary part is now, you know, we got to talk about it, Jay. Scherzer might be gone, man, after this year.
See, that was the whole thing. When it was last year, well, how long was it ago when they signed Verlander? When they gave him a big contract?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago, and I overheard some people talking about that then. You know, because Scherzer was really he was emerging, like he was emerging. He was making a name for himself. You know, etching his name down as one of the the top aces in baseball. And I'm like, are the Tigers gonna be able to pay this guy? You know, when it comes up for him to get paid, with them paying Verlander, and you got to keep Miggy happy. He's like their best player on the team. So
absolutely,
it's like now. I mean, Scherzer is arguably our best pitcher in the rotation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not Verlander anymore. It's Scherzer. So you gotta pay your top eight. If not, you gotta let them go. So sometimes stuff like that, when you pay people at their value at that time, sometimes they come back and bite you in the ass. And that's what it might end up doing for the Tigers. And losing Scherzer out of that rotation, man, they put the Tigers like not even. I don't know, man. That'd be a big blow. I don't want to say it'll drop them from being contenders.
It will,
but it'll definitely hurt them bad, like real bad. And you never know. That David Price play, the trade for David Price, may have been kind of their insurance.
It definitely was their insurance, Jay, because I feel like, why would we go after another pitcher like that? Because they don't really think. And after I seen that MLB trade deadline date, they were talking about that, and the guys on the show was like, wow, Harold Reynolds said, man, they got David Price. And he said, you know what this means? He said, well, it's time to say goodbye to Scherzer, because I feel like they even talked about him turning down the money. And I heard that they offered him $160 million. And that was like one of the third richest contracts in the league right now for an ace. And he turned it down. And I said, man, I was pissed off at him because, we got rid of Doug Fister, who could have still been over here and could have been dominating. He was a great pitcher on a bad team when he was with the Mariners. And then he came over here, he shined. Then we ended up getting rid of Omar Infante. We actually let him walk when, we got Ian Kinsler. Then I was mad because Johnny Peralta, he was in the steroid allegation. So that kind of upset me. But I was still happy that he was one of our players and he's a power hitter. The problem lied when I feel like when Prince Fielder contract was gone. Because when they got that off the bat, I said, "Ooh, that was good for us. That's good," because I feel like that contract was a little too rich. But they did all that moving around to try to keep Scherzer and try to keep him happy. And when he turned it down, I said, "Man, I don't think they're going to take him more than Verlander because he technically is our ace. I don't think he's better than Scherzer." I just was surprised to see he turned down that kind of money, but he turned it down because he's looking at teams like the Boston Red Sox, who don't have an ace because their ace pitched yesterday for the Oakland A's. And now it's like, okay, it's teams out there who will go after him. And the Yankees got that $200 million contract money. They can sign him right now. And for 3 years, we know the Yankees have been the farm league or basically teams have been the farm league for the Yankees. If people don't believe it, whatever happened to Curtis Grant, they seen him. He was an up-and-coming player. We want that guy. They paid him the money, and we couldn't afford it. And I think the Yankees have that type of money. They can just go out there, and if they need an ace, they will go after Scherzer, and that's what's making me upset right now because that's a guy they need to try to keep, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. So, tonight, the playoffs continue. These are the wild card play-in games, which you know what? I kind of like them. They're pretty exciting. Kind of remind me a little bit of the March Madness.
Oh yeah.
The one game the out type deal or whatever, or the NFL playoff thing where the game really counting things. You can't really take a night off. You're at home. So, last night the playoffs started, and
that game was
the Kansas City Royals beat the Oakland A's. It's like on a walk off,
Yeah, man. How excited
it was dramatic
in October.
And the A's was giving it to the Royals, like they was giving it to them, man. And
yeah, I thought they were going to win.
The Royals showed a whole bunch of exceptional sports too, man. Came back and won it in I believe it went 12 innings.
12 innings.
So yeah, 12 innings and won on a walk off, man. So tonight, the playoffs continue, and you got the San Francisco Giants against Pittsburgh Pirates. So, what's your analysis on this matchup tonight,
Man, I hate San Francisco Giants. For any San Francisco fans out there or listening to our show, I apologize. You know who the San Francisco Giants remind me of in the NBA? I'm gonna give you that perspective. They remind me of the San Antonio Spurs, man. They're a team in the beginning of the year. They always have good veterans. They have great pitching. They have one of the best, if not the best, rotation in baseball. Their players are not great, but they always come to play in October. I love Buster Posey as a catcher. He got a lot of power in his bat. Kung Fu Panda, Pablo Sandoval. I'm not really too big of a fan of him after what he did to Detroit. And if people don't remember, he was the guy who lit up Verlander that game, hit the 2 home runs on us. But the dude's athletic, man. I love him because he's a big man myself. I have to, say that. I buy down to him, man. He's close to 300 pounds, man. He could play first, second, third, shortstop, and he could play catcher as well. He could play every infield position. So I was impressed with a big dude like that to be that athletic. And I love all the guys over there like, Belt, my man from the Pens. I like some of the guys over there and I like what they're about. But I can't stand them because they're always there. It's like how you always got to count for the Spurs, you got to count for the Giants. And they always have a chance. And one advantage they have to me as well, they have a really strong bullpen. They got Mike Morris, who got a lot of power in his bat. He reminds me of the poor man, Giancarlo Stanton. And their pitcher tonight, Madison Bumgarner, man, that dude's amazing, man. Not only every game I've seen this year, he was supposed to get a no-hitter, but he has a good bat in that lineup, too. So you got to account for him. You can't pitch nothing thinking you're going to get it past him. If you do, he's going to hit it out hard, man. I think he led the league with pitchers hitting home runs this year as well. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. But when it goes over to the other side with the Pittsburgh Pirates, I'm a little giddy about these guys because I'm a huge Andrew McCutchen fan. I like a lot of the guys over there as well. I was happy to see the young guys like James Harrison over there. I really like to see what they're about, man, because they're a young team. They're a grinding team. They got a veteran, Russell Martin, over there. They got a couple of veteran presence over there who basically lets them know that they've played in a big game and to give those guys, that grit. But I've always liked them because they've been a hustle team. They got a lot of kids with power over there, and I'm a big fan of their pitchers as well. I love Bleacherz. Emerson Bleacherz, man, is one of the guys who I feel like he don't get a lot of props as a pitcher. He's one of the great names right now that people don't give respect to. And I love the Buccos, man. And I feel like in this game right here, I would like to see the Buccos win, but I have to go with the Giants because you never could count them out. They're that team you always hate. How people hate the Spurs. It's like the Giants is like the Spurs of MLB baseball.
So in a nutshell, who do you see? I see the Giants and the Detroit Tigers in the World Series. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Tigers fan from Detroit. But I just think the Tigers pitching is going to heat up, and I think their bats are going to do just enough. And that's what I'm scared of, because over the past couple of years, I've been watching them mainly like in the playoffs, and it's like usually when their pitching is real hot, their bats aren't, and when their bats are on, their pitching isn't. So it hasn't really been consistent. So I really got a real good feeling that their pitching is going to be on. Like this combination of pitchers they got is almost unheard of. Kind of remind me of the '90s Atlanta Braves, but Atlanta Braves just had that ridiculous pitching staff. Two of the names that stand out on that staff from Craig Maddox and John Smoltz. But right, that's what this lineup kind of reminds me of. You know what I'm saying? With the three just ridiculous aces with Scherzer, Verlander, and David Price. So, I don't know. I think their pitching is going to be high, but I think their bats are going to do just enough to get them to the World Series. But I don't know. I can't say they're going to win the whole thing, which I would love for them to win the whole thing. It'd be the first time since '84. But yeah. So what is that? That's 30 years, isn't it?
It's a long time since we won.
Yeah, that'll be 30. Yeah, that'll be 30 years. Wow. 30 years. That's a drought, man. That's like a super drought. But when the championship, the Pistons didn't even go that long when they were. What was that last championship before the 2004? What was it? 80?
I think we won it.
So it was 1990, and then they won the 2004 championship.
Yeah, they won the relevant one in the 2000s too.
Right. That was what 14-year gap. So, hey, that can be another show. What was like the longest? Yeah, that's good over there. I got to jot that down. What was the longest time length between championships for top teams. Yeah. But I just want to let you guys know if you guys want to call in, we're going to talk baseball for a couple of more minutes, and then we're going to get into some NCAA stuff, college football. We're going to talk about the upcoming games for this week. We got some good ones this week. So if you're a college football fan, this is a Saturday for you. Go ahead and get your pizza wings together and just sit in front of the TV from 12 p.m. to, from 12 noon all the way up to, 8 p.m. when a good game come on versus Nebraska and Michigan State. That's going to be a real good game.
That's going to be a nice one.
That's an 8 o'clock game on ABC. So, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into the Brady Hope stuff. I hate to talk about that because Michigan is, you'll know that's my school. I'm going through the hardships with them. I foresaw this when they hired and then fired Rich Rod. I foresaw all of this stuff. I foresaw this rocky business, within the program or whatever, but I'll elaborate on that. We got 2 hours to go. You know what I'm saying? Thanks again, Quincy, for 2 hours, because I gotta vent a little bit about that. I gotta vent. But we're gonna be talking about that. And I wanted to use that incident though and talk about the concussion thing, because that's serious, man. Because football is a very violent sport. But, you look at it and how the game is getting called now, man, it's being called a little bit, what we would call, soft. It's being called soft or whatever. But you got to think about it, though. The way Shane Moore looks, man, I mean, shoot. Okay. I'm almost understand it now. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a dangerous situation. But we're going to get into that. We're going to get into some NFL stuff. We're going to talk heavy NFL, mainly in that second hour. We're going to talk good 45 minutes straight of NFL. We're going to get into the teams that have 500 records right now, 2-2 records. Who's going to make the playoffs or not. And then, Hugh, I want to talk about so far, since it's going into week 5. These 5 weeks, who's been the best player so far, and who's been the best overall, team so far, and who's been the best, position so far. So, we got a lot of sports talk for you guys. Like I said, I was going to throw the number out there. If you guys want to, and he would have called me. I'm sorry, everybody, but the third party, Jabari, is calling. He calling me. And I told him earlier we was doing the show, and he calling me, and he knows we're doing the show right now. So I'm gonna tell him to call in, and hopefully we can get him in here so he can talk with us as soon as we get into college football. He's very inclined to talk to college football. He's very good. I can't wait to introduce him to you guys. But we're gonna get back to the baseball, and the Tigers start their series tomorrow, right? The 5-game series with the Baltimore Orioles. Okay, right? And then you got the Angels taking on the Warriors. So who do you see coming out of both of those series? Who's gonna play in the American League Championship Series?
Oh man, I'm not trying to be biased, but I already picked my teams, and I picked it a while ago, before they even played. I hope I'm not jinxing these two teams, but I definitely had the Tigers and the Los Angeles Angels. I definitely want to see that lineup because they're pitching back-to-back on both teams is excellent. And they can duel with any of the best of the teams, man. And I think right now, on record, just the Los Angeles Angels have the best record throughout MLB. And that's why I want to see the Tigers face the best. So that's why I want to see, Los Angeles Angels facing the Tigers coming to the ALCS.
That's gonna be a nice. I think that was if the Tigers. I think if the Tigers get past it, if you look at it, what they in the past couple of years they've been to the World Series. Did they go twice? Yeah, they went to the World Series twice, and the Tigers hadn't really played a team in the ALCS that's really been a match for them. They barrel right through them. Last year they played the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox gave but oh man, that was rough. But they couldn't get past the Red Sox. So the Angels do you think the Angels are better than what the Red Sox were last year? Or because I think the Red Sox, I don't think the Red Sox was actually better than the Tigers. I think they just hit a stride. The Red Sox just hit a stride in the middle of that season.
Yeah, they got that momentum, man. I think they hit the walk-off. Yeah, that one walk-off did it, man. And it seems like they won in so many dramatic, they won in dramatic fashion. Because when you look at the games were always played close. It took walk-offs to beat the Tigers. So that's why I wasn't so upset when we lost. I was pissed because I wanted to go and try to win it all. But for them to be in that position and to say, okay, we lost because they had a better night or because of the walk-off, was the reason why. That let me know that we were still there. And we basically gave them everything we had. It was just, at the end of the night, they came out on top. They fought. They were a nice, gritty team. They got rid of all that payroll that they had on that team at one point. They was going back-to-back with the Yankees on Monday at one point when they got all those players like Adrian Gonzalez and, Carl Crawford. They had a lot of, payroll on that team. And I felt like when they took all that payroll off and put those gritty players like Johnny Gomes over there, and they got the Shane Victorinos, and they got guys over there who just knew how to play the game. They wasn't like superstars; they were ball players, and they, give you their all. And I like that team because they had a gritty team that fought you to the end. And that's what it took, man. It just took the team fighting all the way, scratch and claw until they were pulling out victories. And they just proved right then and there that was a good recipe to win championships.
Right. So you got the Tigers coming out of the American League. Well, you got the Tigers and the Angels in the ALCS. And I was actually wanted to talk about the ALCS first and the NLCS. That's the championship series because I don't want to get into the World Series yet. That'll be another show. But who you got out of the NL? What two teams you got in the NLCS?
I'm being biased again on these, man. I got the Nats and I have the Dodgers because I'm a big Yasiel Puig believer. And, I like that team because I'm a big fan of Hanley Ramirez. I can name a lot of those players on that team, man. They basically, what they did on that team was Magic Johnson and company pulled off a lot of those heavy hitter guys off of the Boston Red Sox. They got Carl Crawford. They got Josh Beckett. And they got Adrian Gonzalez. And then Miami Marlins pulled off the Hanley Ramirez. They gave him to the team. And I'm like, man, look at all these players over here they got. And I always like Dean Morton because, he's faster than lightning. And then you got all these good guys in the outfield. You got Y'all still play. You got Easier, you got Kemp. It's like, man, that whole team is loaded. And then when it comes to the pitching, they got Greinke, they got well, actually, I gotta stop saying MVP, Cy Young for all you pitchers. Don't want them to feel like, oh man, he's taking away from our, glory. But Clayton Kershaw, man, he's like one of the best in the game right now. When they got a talented roster over there, man. But then again, the Nationals as well is one of these good teams who got a lot of good pitching, and they got a lot of good all-stars over there as well. That'll be a clash of the Titans matchup, man, because I'm a huge fan of those guys as well. But yeah, that's what I have. I got the Nationals, Dodgers on the NL. I got the Detroit Tigers and the Los Angeles Angels in the AL. That's my final four.
All right. Well, you heard it here. You gave you his picks for who's going to win the divisional series in the American League and National League in professional baseball. And Tigers for all my Detroit fans out there, because I know most of y'all that's listening to the show or will be listening to the show later on. If you guys are like at work or something like that, you can't really catch the show. The Tigers play tomorrow. What time they play? They play at what, like 3?
Yeah, 3:30.
Yeah, like a 3 o'clock game. Yeah. So they play at like 3. So I'll definitely be, keeping an eye on that game, seeing what the Tigers are up to. But yeah, playoffs. It's October. Like I said, it's October 1st today. I hope I hope everybody is geared up to watch these playoffs, these baseball playoffs, and basketball coming up. We gonna have to get basketball some love in a minute. They creeping on in there. I know my NBA fans waiting, man. They can't wait. And that's one of those things again too. I like college better than NBA. I like the college basketball better than the NBA now, man.
Especially March Madness.
Yeah. And that's another one. Actually, we can kind of get into that. We'll get into that. I want to speak that in. What do we think is the best, most exciting, like, postseason in sports? I think that's something that needs to be discussed. I think that's a hot topic because a lot of people like the NBA playoffs. I still kind of like the NBA playoffs. I've always liked the formats of like a 7-game series or something like that. I wish they'd go back to 5-game series in the first round. They just that 7-game first round series is just
that's crazy.
It's too much. That's just way too
much. That was just trying to get our money, man.
Right, man. Good grief. 7 games in the first round? That's ridiculous.
That's bizarre.
But right, they almost going into July. with the finals. The finals start in July. like dang.
We on the championship.
Right, on 4th of July, watching the dang championship game, man. It's ridiculous. But yeah, we can talk about that or whatever. But I want to get into the college football. I'm torn on what I want to start with, and I think I think we'll just go ahead and start with the concussion thing. I just want to go ahead. I want to go ahead and get it out the way. Because I'm gonna go on like a little mini rant, and Quincy, don't try to edit me or anything like that. Because I'm gonna go on a little mini rant, and like I'm pissed with the Michigan organization as a whole. Like as far as from the president to the AD to hiring these coaches that didn't need to be hired in the first damn place. Now, you go back, Brady Hoke's been there 4 years. This is 4th year. So you go back 3 years before to the Rich Rod era. Now, I wasn't totally against the Rich Rod hire, but I was aware at what type of coach he was. He was the type of coach that is football first. That's his whole mindset. Football. He was a coach. He had to get his guys in to run his system. Which, when you're in the University of Michigan, and you've been winning years, and you had consistent winning seasons under Lloyd Carr, before that, Gary Moeller, then you had Jabot Schembechler. Before that, Michigan fans got spoiled. They got spoiled. So you go into a new era where Lloyd Carr leaves. You're looking for a successor. You bring in somebody, I'm putting a quote, not a Michigan man. And you go with Rich Rod. Now, when you go with Rich Rod, me and Jabari talked about it. You had to stay with him. Because you look at the year he got fired, the year he got fired, that next year, when Brady Hoke came in, what did they do? They went 11-2. Won a BCS game. That was Rich Rod's team.
Yeah, that was his team. The whole team.
Right. So, while the alumni is pissed off and the boosters are pissed off, they should be mad at themselves for kicking out a coach that was actually building something. He was just building it differently than what we're accustomed to. And we were accustomed to people already having stuff set up for us, for the coaches or whatever that was coming in. And, they just kind of kept the tradition going. But he changed the brand of football that was played at Michigan.
Yeah, he did.
So, right. So, I even said it. I said they get rid of Rich Rod, that's going to set them back at least 5 years. They get rid of Rich Rod. That's when they were talking about Rich Rod being fired and all this stuff. I said that's going to set the program back 5 years.
People wanted to be here.
They over
this year, man. We had a lot of good recruits that he was here.
Right, and they overachieved. They overachieved Brady Hoke's first year. They overachieved. To me, that second year, shaky. We all know last year.
Defense was terrible.
And now,
yeah, was the worst defense.
Right. Now, this year is one of the worst years ever seen. The Rich Rod era, fuck that. Fuck the Rich Rod era. The Rich Rod era was basically, like I said, they didn't give the man enough time. They pumped him, told him get out of here, blame you for everything. Goddamn alumni. Let's get a Michigan man in here, pretty much a big cheerleader. Let's get this big ass cheerleader in here that don't wear an earset, headphones or nothing. So he's not communicating with his coaches, anything. They're coaching the game. He's just there clapping his hands, walking the sidelines or whatever. With his thumb up his ass. So Now we at a point where Michigan football is looking like a damn sideshow. It's looking like a sideshow. And Hugh, I know you've been following Michigan football for a while too. This is not Michigan football, man. This isn't Michigan. Even if they are going to have growing pains or the program going to be set back a little bit, we're going to lose. Okay. But dude, 31-0 against Notre Dame?
Oh, they got punished by Notre Dame. They couldn't even score.
Dude, that's your rival. You lose 31-0 to your rival? And then you lose. Oh man, you lose a rivalry game, a trophy game to Minnesota. This probably be the only game, if not another one, and Minnesota wins in the conference. Minnesota sucks. So what does that make us? Right. What does that make us? They came in Ann Arbor and blasted us. Took the little brown jug, put some damn cognac probably in it, and went to a frat party from damn where, made fun of them all night.
In the big house. In the big house.
The big house. The big house isn't even feared anymore. People just come in here and, hey, we're going to take your cheerleaders. We're going to beat y'all ass on y'all field. We don't care. Whatever. And then the folks came in here and just bumped us. And I was just like, if that's not enough to get Brady Holt fired, then let's talk about the concussion thing. You got a second-year quarterback in Shane Morris, who I thought looked shaky. He was either, even from when this started, from when the game started, he was shaky. He either was nervous or drunk or on pain. Something was wrong with him before he even got hit. He wasn't prepared mentally for that game. He got blasted. He been there stumbling on the sideline after that big hit. Like my man creamed him.
Didn't get called on the penalty or anything.
Right. Yeah. Where was the medical staff on Michigan sideline to check on Shane? And they were sitting back in the goddamn game.
Yeah. It was a freak show on the sideline. I was mad because it was like they were basically putting the blame at each other. Brady Holt was like, I didn't see it. I was looking at, an incomplete pass, and Dave Brandon, he was like, the athletic director was like, well, he knew what was going on, he saw it. He was on call. Said, well, check on that and make sure that was a lane hit targeted. And I'm like, well, okay, if he didn't, and was looking at the complete pass, how did you go and say, check to see if that was targeted? And it's like, basically, Dave Brennan kind of pulled him under the bus, too. He didn't care about pulling him under the bus. He like, well, he knew what was going on, and he was concerned for happened, and it was like, too much in that situation. And I was like, Dave Brennan is shady because it was like, he was pointing the finger at, Brady Holt, like, I didn't really know what was going on. And you didn't know what was going on, and how would you go out and say, well, okay, let's check and see if he was targeted, and because he's not top, man. He's trying to send up his chin. I was like, damn. He doesn't need to put his offensive line. So.
Right. And that's the type of hit where the quarterback on the sideline, you look at him, he's like, you okay? You know what I'm saying? That you ask him if he's okay, and his reply is ice cream Sunday or one of the days of the week. Dude, like, You know, like, you okay, son? Wednesday. Like, dude, it's time to, and he's down. He stumbled into one of his linemen. If I was his lineman, I would have grabbed him by the shoulder pad. I'm like, coach, you can't go. He don't know where he at. You know what I'm saying? And as a coach, like I said, from taking a hit like that, dude, you have to have your medical staff examine this kid. You know what I'm saying? If I was checking Morris' parents, man, I would be pissed right now. I'd be calling for Brady.
They have every right to be. They have every right.
And I don't even think it was intentional on Hope's part. Like, okay, when you can cut, let him go back up. It wouldn't affect like he was a Michael Vick. Like, you know, how good Michael Vick was in college, or any of these other, you know, outstanding quarterbacks that we've seen over the years in college football. It wasn't that. He wasn't gonna give you like the best chance to win. I mean, he was playing like he was playing sorry. He wasn't even playing work for them. I don't even think Brady Hope was like, you know what I'm saying, go back out there, we need you, or whatever. I think Brady Hope is such a doofus and cheering and clapping and shit, he didn't even realize that Shane Wolford didn't know what the hell he was. He wasn't even aware. And just that alone, that you're not aware of what's going on with your players and their health, you got to go. You got to go. You got to go.
This combination that can happen. Four coaches and the kid getting hurt, having this concussion, and you making him go back out there. Like you said, I'm not really sure that he had the intent to bring him out there knowing he was hurt. I think it was a bad call on him, man. And it was mainly his call. And, that's why everybody was like, oh, not me. And they ran and like, no, him. It's all on him. But it's like he made a bad choice, and I think he's going to have to live with it. But at the same time, it doesn't help when we have such a crappy season this year, too, man. Our season, I was like, man, I don't even recognize this team, man. We've seen how dominant Michigan been, man, over the years. We were proud to be Michigan football, man, because we've seen the best get done, man. We had players like athletes, we just think team that you look up to. Now, I don't know what this is with going out there football, man.
See, this is the whole. About 2 weeks ago, before this game, I was listening, or before the game started, I was listening to sports radio with somebody Valenti. And he brought up one of, Mike Valenti's the Michigan guy. And a lot of his stuff is biased. He say stuff or whatever. But most of the time, Mike has a lot of big points. And one of the greatest points I ever heard Mike say, and I've been watching, I've been listening to their show for years, him and Terry White. I've been listening to their show for years. And one of the things he said that, just really woke me up while breaking up. Who, over these 40 years, who has gotten better on the team? Who has developed? Besides Devin Funky, the wide receiver who's wearing the number 1 jersey now. Besides Devin Funky, who's developed? Because Devin Gardner got dressed.
Yeah.
We don't have a running game worth a damn. The offensive line is terrible. The defense ain't worth shit. The D coordinator, his old ass, he teaching one of the most complex things. He's teaching a very complex system to these kids. They don't know whether to rush, cover. They don't know what to do. We don't have a pass rush. These are the worst linemen, technique-wise, I've seen ever. And Michigan's
corner's getting toasted on the regular.
Right. Michigan's known for dominating line of scrimmage play. Their linemen are always good. They always have good offensive linemen and good D linemen. None of that. And I think it goes toward not being taught correctly. And Brady Hoke doesn't know how to teach football. The head coach has to oversee everything. And I really think he sits in his office with episodes of goddamn Seinfeld on, with a family dinner from Taylor's Day, and eats Nussmeier and Madison coach. I really do.
Yeah, because he's been really not even an inspiration, man. Like you said, man, not only is he not developing players, but who are you motivating? And it seems like these guys come out with it every game. They're not even really improved, man. Like, they really want to go out there and beat somebody, man. Like, I just was still surprised. I'm still stunned over the Golden Gophers coming in here. Minnesota just putting a pounding on us, man.
Right.
You know what's so bad about that, though, man? When I was listening in that first, man, maybe it was just me tripping or in denial. But when I seen the score, I thought Michigan was up like that, man. I really did. After Michigan, they were embarrassed, and now they're going to try, to redeem their embarrassment. But then when I looked out there, wow, what do you know? Maybe my eyes was playing trick on me. But I'm like, yeah, that M is not, Michigan is not diminished down. And I was just really stunned, man. I think we still all in shock after that game, man, because it really did put the stamp on Brady Hoke leaving, and then that kid with the concussion, it doesn't help. It makes it even worse now because the spotlight's on you. Mm-hmm. I'm embarrassed. That's a touchy topic to talk about, man.
Right. Right now, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna finish up with I'm gonna talk concussion in football. We're gonna finish that up, and we're gonna finish up the college football talk with the games of the week to look out for, to watch this week in college football, and give you our picks. And then we're gonna go into the NFL, and we're gonna ride the NFL to the house. We're gonna ride it home. And I want to thank y'all for listening so far, and we'll be right back to you after these messages.
Witness the Black Tie experience. Black Tie Photography, servicing all of Metro Atlanta area. My name is Cedric Pitts, your photographer. Check out our website at www.blacktiepictures.com or like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Black Tie Pictures. Let me capture your professionalism in class, and you will have the ultimate black tie experience.
Are you looking to start a new career? Let Choice Career Studies help you take your next step towards success. We offer dental administration courses that can be completed in 4 short and easy weekends. For $495, we will give you the fundamentals of dental administration, resume and interview skills, and assist with job placement. Give us a call today, 586-222-5457. Are you looking to start a
Yo, it's the deal. It's your boy, the Hood Howard Stern, Q Lewis, the host of the livest cloud radio show on the planet. You know what it is, straight from the E Block. We live every week and we reaching over 60,000 listeners. So you know what that means? If you got a small business or a product that you want to promote, this could be the perfect venue for you. If you want to learn some more about how you can advertise on our platform, go to the website www.eblockradio.com and see what package works for you. We got packages as low as $25 a month. $25 a month, where can you beat that at? We're reaching over 60,000 listeners. Hey, if you want to get more information, don't forget, go to the website www.eblockradio.com. Advertise with the livest cloud radio show on the planet. You heard it here first. It's your boy, the Hood Howard Stern, Q Lewis. Get at me. Yo, it's the deal. It's your boy, the Hood Howard Stern, Q Lewis, the host of the livest cloud radio show on the planet. You know what it is, straight from the E Block. We live every week and we reaching over
here on E Block Radio. And if you're just joining us right now, I'll give you a bit of a reset. We started the show off talking about baseball. We talked about the baseball playoff. Hugh pretty much gave his pick of who's going to come out of these divisional series. And he gave some insight on pitchers. I mean, he did it all. So if you guys want to listen to that a little later, go back and listen to the show. Our producer put the link up after the show. We got a Facebook page. So, you guys may want to check that out if you want to check out some of the baseball stuff we talked about earlier. And we talked about, right before break, we was talking about Michigan football, University of Michigan football, college football, and we was talking about concussion stuff. One of the players from the University of Michigan, Shane Moore, quarterback, got hurt, and he had a mild concussion. He was diagnosed with a mild concussion, and they put him back in the game. So that will lead us until now, what we're talking about, and you guys want to call in and talk about that. The number is 760-283-4647. And Hugh, this concussion stuff, man, has been a pretty hot topic for the past, 5 years or so?
Yeah, it's strong ongoing too, man, because it's like a non-tolerant now for concussions. And if you do get a concussion, you got to take the proper protocols into getting the players back to playing. Like if I get messed up and have a concussion on Sunday or on Saturday, I don't think theirs is strict. I'm not really sure how theirs is going as far as in college because they never really talked to us about it as far as their concussions. But I know in the NFL it's strict now to where like if I get hit and I get a bad concussion, they're going to have to evaluate me through the week. Thursday is like one of the last evaluations to make sure that I'm ready. And if I'm practicing on that Friday or Saturday and they see something that's off with me, they would scratch me automatically. It's a real sensitive topic now. College needs to implement that a little more too, like with this kid getting injured, Shane Morris, they need to take baby steps with him, to the point where they know he's healthy. And I kind of looked up now and I seen on the sports news that Gardner will start. So I know it must be worse than what we thought. So yeah, man, it's like the protocol. I'm not really sure what it looks like now. If you get a concussion in college, they might sit you out of the game. So I'm not really sure. It might reevaluate Shane Morris, after this week. But yeah, that's a topic right now that I think that now is really scary. And it's like the skeleton in the closet now because if that happened and you don't really take care of the kids, like I didn't think Brady Hope took care of that young man when he got hurt. Morris got hurt, man. He let him right back. And I'm like, man, that's when you messed up at. It's kind of unfortunate because, it's like everybody gives it, Brady Hope here now. And I'm giving it to him not because it's just a discussion, but how poor Michigan football has been. But yeah, man, that's just something right now that I think that they need to basically implement from the kids down to high school all the way up, man. That has to definitely be a voice. And it's just for the NFL getting a lot of paying so many millions of dollars for them to really get the message. So yeah, that's something I really think that we definitely need to appreciate. Sometimes I get upset, and I be upset with the NFL and say they didn't go fund league when I feel like they didn't target the kids. It's just that they're going down, like the plays I've seen, like when and you saw it before too. We get pissed off with this, Jay, because as former players who ever played in the sport of football, James, man, we saying if a helmet to helmet hit is, you're automatically out of the game. But what if I catch the ball and then I'm going low while you already in the tackling me? And you hit me in the head. That's not your fault. I should have never braced myself to go down with that. Sometimes we do it as
it's almost a split. It's a split second, like it's a millisecond between a receiver like catching the ball, and by the time he's catching the ball, a defender is usually curling down on the ball. So,
absolutely.
Do you, as a defender, you got to understand that's their job to keep you from catching the football. Mm-hmm. So if they can't get their arm out there, right? If they can't get their arm out there to deflect the ball, their next instinct is to hit you, to dislodge it. Mm-hmm. So what do we do? You know what I'm saying? And like you said, when he ducks, like if the receiver catches it while the defender is inches from him, his first instinct is to duck and get low. And once he gets low, the defender is already in the motion of hitting. So it's almost... You can't pause. Right. Right. It's almost like... You can't stop it. So that's almost like I forget the term I want to use, but it's almost like a pick your poison type thing. Like, what do we do as professional athletes? Well, on the other end, though, I understand where the NFL is coming from and like college football, just playing the sport of football, period. If I had a son and he played football, right about now, like how everything is common, I'm nervous. Like, because it's a violent sport. You know what I'm saying? It's violent as hell. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like
it's almost barbaric.
Organized, right? It's like a organized 11 on 11 UFC type deal. Almost, you know what I'm saying? Without the kicking and punches and submission holds. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you're right. It's a good terminology. It's like Spartacus almost. See, that's what we can put it in.
Exactly. That is like Spartacus. Right, man. When you get on the field, man, it's battle. You know what I'm saying? It's a battle.
Absolutely.
And our producer can attest to that. You know, he plays football, and you get your hands up. You know, so what length will the NFL and college football go to protect these kids? And us as fans, and you get a lot of the fans that's old school, who watch the Dick Butkus and Singletary and Ronnie Lott, Ray Lewis, all these guys hitting just like brick walls, hitting people hard. Yeah, it's exciting.
That Ronnie right there.
Oh yeah, it's exciting because most of us guys who watch football, we're Neanderthals, man. We Neanderthals. We get a beer, food in front of us, and a game on where they hit each other like crazy, man. We jump up and yeah. But knowing damn well if that was one of our brothers or cousins, and he get his damn helmet knocked off from the 50-yard line to the other team's end zone, we gonna be pissed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna hurt because he's hurt. You know what I'm saying? He's concussed. He don't remember nothing, and that can lead to diseases down the line. You know what I'm saying? Like they were saying, they studied Junior Seau's brain. For you guys don't know who Junior Seau is, he was a Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame linebacker that played for the San Diego Chargers. He committed suicide about 2 years ago, a year or two ago. And he wanted his brain researched for concussions and the effect concussions and the game of football or whatever have on you or whatever. And it's bad. Like this can lead to like I said, diseases, Parkinson's can come out of it, Alzheimer's, dementia, the type of stuff that Junior Seau had. He said he was having suicidal thoughts, all this type of stuff. And I don't want to get into it. I know I'm gonna have to beg our producer if we could do a show on professional wrestling one day. I might lose a few listeners that day, but hey, I'll watch it all. Okay. But professional wrestling was under a lot of scrutiny with that stuff. Steroid use and concussion stuff or whatever. With one of my favorite wrestlers, Chris Benoit, 2 years ago, where he allegedly killed his family and stuff like that. So the physicality of these sports, especially football, can have a bad effect on the human body and the human brain. You know what I'm saying? So you have to regulate it, but to what extent? What extent are you regulating the hits and stuff like that? Because you still have to keep it on you. It's almost like you mentioned Spartacus. It's almost like having a gladiators fight, but they can't kill each other. Or you know what I'm saying, you're regulating, you can only stab in the leg. Or you can only stab them in the hand.
Or fight with wooden knives. He's not supposed to fight with wooden knives, man. We will watch that,
Right. Right, man. You know what I'm saying? They be ready. Like if one of the dudes has some compassion on the other dude, they be ready to throw his ass in the lion pit. You know what I'm saying? So it's
I know I'll be the main one asking for it.
Right. So I mean, it's a fine line, but like I said, I understand it. I understand that they have to regulate it. They have to. They have to regulate it because they have to think about the health and safety of the players, not only in the game, but down the line. You know what I'm saying? These guys have families. They have families. Right. They have families and stuff like that. And I know they want to be able to play with their grandkids later on in life and know who the hell the grandkids and their kids are. You know what I'm saying? Because that Alzheimer's, that dementia, those are nasty diseases, man. Those are nasty, and they're very hurtful. Where, you know what I'm saying, a person you've been knowing for over 30, 40 years, who raised you or whatever, don't even know you. So that's a rough. You know what I'm saying? And they even try to change. And they try to change the helmet or something like that. Give them
they're always
more cushion and stuff in it. Yeah, and the helmet. And I think that's probably the only way that you can really regulate the hitting and stuff like that, or cushion them from the hit, because they're unavoidable for both parties. The receiver's going to get hit hard. A quarterback is going to get hit hard, and the defense job is to hit them hard. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has a job. So if I don't hit him hard and let him just catch the damn ball in the end zone when I can hit him hard and just block it, I mean, how long am I going to have a job?
Yeah, so, how long will your job be at stake?
Right. Exactly. Some of these people are playing not for the fun of the game. Some people are playing for their livelihood. If I don't hit him or do my job or stop him any way possible, my family don't eat. My family don't eat. So what do we do? You know? I got one last question though. Like, I wonder if the owners pay the fines for the players. What do you think?
That's a good question.
Or do you think they should?
Depends on what the penalty is, because you have idiots out there like Brandon Merriweather, who played on the Washington Redskins. He was a former New England Patriot. He did a lot of silly stuff like helmet to helmet hits, and he was actually lodging into people. I think when you're doing silly stuff like that and you intentionally seem like you're doing it, then I believe it comes out of your pockets. But I feel like if the player didn't have the intent to hurt someone and they did everything like as far as the book, they tackled with the shoulder, they wasn't head hunting, and like you said, when guys like get in that little turtle shell and they like, feed us up and then, try to absorb the blow. And then when they go low while the defender's already in the midst of hitting them, and, they get fined for that or they get a penalty for that, and then they have to come out of pocket, I think it'll be, respectable if the coach pay for it, because he knows that guy didn't have any intent to do that. And I think a lot of times when stuff like that happens, when it's unintentional, I don't think they should get fined in the first place. But if they do, I definitely think that it'll be appropriate for the coach to take care of it.
Right.
Some of these coaches probably be like,
Go ahead.
Some of these other coaches probably be like, the hell with him. He make more money than I do. I'm going to pay his fine where he's making like extra 10,000 or extra 10 million more than I'm making. So yeah, that's a real man. We gotta extend that one, man. We definitely gotta make a show out of that one, because that gets real sensitive too as far as the coaches. Yeah, I feel like it'll be appropriate on, to a certain extent, but more than that, coach, that's a really like touchy or iffy topic, man.
Exactly. I wanted to kind of switch gears and go into the football part of this college and go ahead and wrap up the college session and the concussion stuff, and kind of lighten the mood and go into the games of the week, which I said start on Saturday afternoon, and I'll be at work, and I got a tablet, and I have a hotspot on my tablet on my phone, and I watch football while I'm at work. Like, you know what I'm saying? I get it in, man. I watch football, all types of sports stuff, man. I get it in. I watch the ESPN app. It's amazing. But yeah, I will at 12 o'clock, man, on ESPN. I will be watching Texas A&M and Mississippi State.
Wow, that's gonna be a powerhouse, and that's the one I chose too.
Oh my God. Oh my God,
man, they barely escaped last week, man. They barely escaped. Arkansas almost had.
Right. And
I thought they lost.
When was the last time? When the last time a game like this, two SEC teams, been mentioned in like a game of the week, and it hasn't been Alabama, LSU, Auburn, any of those teams, Florida, none of them right now. Like when would you hear of Mississippi State and Texas A&M in Mississippi?
Man, you would never hear that before, man.
Right. Not early to mid 2000s, and damn sure not in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? You ain't hear no Texas A&M playing tonight or Mississippi State. Now,
they should have had that.
You know what I'm saying? Mississippi. And I knew Mississippi State was for real when they put that ass whooping on LSU. They put a whooping on them.
Yeah.
Like, in Death Valley though, like in Death Valley. Now they're at home against a high-powered offense and Texas A&M, and I don't care what. Me and Barry had kind of a disagreement, and I wish he was on here so we could talk about it. But we had kind of a disagreement about Kenny Hills, the quarterback for Texas A&M. He thinks Kenny Hills is a product of Ken Sumlin's system. You know, Ken Sumlin coach at. That's what I think. Ken Sumlin was the coach over at Houston when they were putting up University of Houston. When they were putting up all them numbers. Case Keenum was throwing for like 600 yards a damn game, and you got damn 15 touchdowns a game. You know what I'm saying? Like ridiculous video game numbers, man. And you know, of course, Johnny Manziel, who now plays for the Cleveland Browns, was in the system for 3 years, and now you got Kenny Hills. This dude he established himself. I think last week, like the first game of the year, he threw for like, what was it, like 400 something yards, 500 yards? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, all right, he looks pretty good, and that was against South Carolina. And it's like,
that wasn't no fun school.
Yeah, that wasn't no fun school. I mean, Steve Spurrier team. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you get into whether he's legit or a product of the system, and he brings his team back. And like you say, Arkansas was putting it on their ass. And he got the team put him back. Right. I thought Arkansas was going to win too. Arkansas ain't on top right now. They're being coached very well over there. So, hey, like I said, this game might be one of the best games of the week to me.
Yeah.
Which is about to get me into the second game that I think is going to be damn good. Is you know, more like it when you talk about the SEC, LSU and Auburn, and they're at Auburn. This game is going to be at 7 o'clock. 7 p.m. is game time. Who you got in that? I'm taking Auburn. I think Auburn for real.
I tell you what. After seeing them get beat like that, it's Death Valley. I just don't see them recovering this year. Because, you know, I like LA, you know. And I'm not really too keen on Les Miles. I appreciate what he do. But you just don't be about Mississippi State. And Mississippi State into the issue in Death Valley. And they broke you down like that. You just don't go to Auburn and think that you're going to come out victorious, man. Because that team right there, man, they got powerhouse guys on that team, man. And I don't see them going to Auburn and beat them. I need to show me that you can do it, but I don't see it.
Me either. I don't see it at all, man. I think Auburn. is going to beat the snot out of LSU. I don't think. And LSU, even though they're a good team, they're young. They're a very young team. And that's kind of, Les Miles pretty much locks and reloads. He recruits heavy. And what I mean by that is he recruits top players, and those top players fit. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're needed. Like they have a middle linebacker over there. I think he wears number 15. A stud. And he's a freshman. But they needed a middle. They still have a number 1 middle linebacker that's redshirted this year. And they're recruiting. They're still recruiting on top of each other. So he's still recruiting top talent every year, and he just registers them and teaches them the system. And then the next year, they come in that wave. So that's why you see when LSU gets in the BCS and they start winning the national championship, those teams went through their growing pains already. They be like juniors and seniors. They don't need freshman, sophomore, or a mixture, sprinkled up in there or whatever. They, they established. Those guys have, have the wound, battle scars that they've been through or whatever. So this is a young team. And because they're young, they're going to get that ass whooped this week. Like, Harvard for real.
It's some powerhouse team, man. It seems like they didn't really just beat them last year,
I think they're gonna give it to Alabama. Quiet because Alabama don't look too good this year.
Alabama don't look good at all. The new guy at quarterback, he looks exciting, but when you look at it, it's like, man, him and Amari Cooper are crazy together. They're like a match made in heaven. But that defense is not the same, man.
That defense isn't the same, and that defense is kind of young. They've lost a lot over the past 2 years. They lost a lot. Yeah, they lost a lot.
But they got right now.
Exactly, and the recruiting hasn't been heavy because they've been losing a lot of recruits lately to Harvard and Georgia, because Georgia have snuck up in that pipeline that Alabama is used to recruiting. You know what I'm saying? Now it's not that easy for Nick Saban to just go sit in the home and tell a number 1 recruit, I'll see you next year. That's what he used to do about 3 years ago. That's how he used to recruit. Trent Richardson said it. He said he just came in and told me, you know what I'm saying? Like, just stop your recruiting trail, all that stuff. No business, no nothing. You coming to Alabama. You know what I'm saying? So he can't really do that no more. Georgia is pitching a lot of good stuff. And Auburn, which is Alabama's rival, is pitching a lot of good stuff. So,
hey, this is an opportunity, but the Auburn, Alabama is either, yay or nay. You're going to either choose Auburn or you're going to choose Alabama. And now, like you said, that pipeline has been presented now to where these kids are like, hey, is more than Alabama and Auburn. I can go to Georgia, I can go to Texas A&M or a lot of these other SEC schools when they're coming up. And when you say, to a young kid who's in high school, who's been the man for all these years, we're trying to build a championship caliber team, and we want you to be a part of it. Not chilling, being chilling on the sideline, waiting your turn, but trying to give them a fresh start at the beginning. These kids are jumping on that, man, and I think it's a smart idea. It's a good tactic. Hey, if you told me that, if I was a college athlete, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to sit and wait in Alabama while they go these powerhouse teams and wait my turn? Or I'm going to just go out and go somewhere where I can start from the beginning and build a franchise. So, yeah, man, it's like Nick Saban, man, a lot of people ain't drinking that Kool-Aid no more, man.
Yeah. Keep it rolling right quick. I got some things to take care of. Hold on.
Okay. And it's just been a lot of things right now that I feel like in the recruit pipeline, it's been really devastating to Alabama. And, I'm a little hurt right now, too, because I'm a big Alabama fan. I got a lot of family from Alabama. And right now I want to jump to the NFL because time is flying right now. We only have 33 minutes left on the air. Right now, I just basically want to get into more or less like the NFL. And a lot of teams out there right now who I saw who were teams who I always feel like would be in contention, they're starting to look shaky. And I've been really disappointed in right now. And it hurts my feelings right now to get into this. But I know, James, we've been trying to duck this topic all night when it comes to the NFL. But I got to call my team out, man. I looked at the Monday Night Football game and almost threw up, man. I couldn't look at it. It was so bad. I've never seen my team, the New England Patriots, get trampled like that. And at the beginning of the show on Monday Night Football, I was glad to hear Steve Young say when he approached the panel and he talked about what was going on right now in football. And he basically said, how dare you, Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft, did not put the talent around Tom Brady that he needs after he took 2-year pay cuts to try to get talent and personnel around that team to build a championship Super Bowl franchise. And I was pissed, when I seen a lot of guys walk. We ain't gonna talk about the guys who walked before the task because they didn't look into the Patriots way and who basically said, hey, I want my money. I did what I did over here for this long, and I've been a good player since then. When you got me and recruited me from college, and I was 4 years later, and my money time up, and you telling me you don't want to pay me after we won 2 championships? Well, who was one of the players behind me? And they feel like when you have that attitude, it feel like you're not talking about the name on the front of the T-shirt rather than the name on the back. They get you out of town. And they were really doing good at first, like when these guys leave, and I'm not going to take it back too far, but when Ty Law left, they already had, Asante Samuel waiting in the wings. And, fortunately, he was a good player. He came in and he filled that void. But as of now, what I was pissed off about, man, not only just that shellacking that they had, man, I know right now Tom Brady is not his regular self. And fortunately, right now, the AFC East is kind of bad because their quarterback play. Because you look at the Buffalo Bills, man, they got a hell of a team, man. They're trying to win now, but EJ Manuel's kind of holding them back right now. So in that situation, they brought in Kyle Orton. I thought that was a good move, because Kyle Orton has a better leadership that he's going to help them out. He's going to win a few games for him as well. But Geno Smith's struggling as well. He really don't have no receivers. Eric Decker was just a product of his system where, hey, man, it's like which one you want to pick your poison on. You're either going to get toasted by Daenerys Thomas, Julius Thomas, or Wes Welker. And then Eric Decker, he was just a product of the system. And now I look at it as what made me upset is the fact that when Steve Young did say what he said, when he said you're not putting enough talent around Tom Brady, that offensive line is shot right now. They got a lot of rookies. Nate Solder's not playing well. He's been in the league long enough to be disciplined and to hold down his opponent, but he's not playing well. That offensive line looks bad. It looks like a high school team. And not only that, but the receivers are not doing their job, man. I mean, Gronk is not really himself yet after that, ACL injury. And then, only person on the team is basically playing like he give a damn is Julian Edelman. And although they gave him all this money, man, he's not even doing anything. I think he had 3-4 receptions for 16 yards. Come on, man. Dude, they paid you all this money just to be a bum? Brandon LaFell is not really ready right now for New England. He was saying he was struggling with the system and, the actual playbook. So he's really still trying to develop. He's basically like a rookie right now coming to New England. And then, I look at it and I say, damn you, Bill Belichick, and damn you, Robert Kraft, for not putting the talent around. You let Wes Welker walk. That was his reliable receiver. He was all he had. Now, thank God Julian Edelman is developing, but now you're like, Wes Welker's gone. You get rid of him. Logan Mankins didn't want to take a pay cut. What do? You put him on the bus. Now, Tom Brady is out there defenseless. He's getting jacked up on the regular. Man, that guy's playing like he's scared. And I can, say that he's not. He's missing place. I can't take it all from him, but I think that he should have stood up to Belichick, man. I'm pissed off about that, man. Let's think about it. We talked about this before we got on the air. You know damn well they wouldn't have done it to Peyton Manning, and they wouldn't have played him like they did. They already had an offense. They lost Harry Decker, so what? They get a guy who runs better out there, and I thought he was he was a more underrated receiver in Emmanuel Sanders. And then, they ended up giving guys like DeMarcus Ware on their defense for the pass rush. So they didn't really feel like they had the pass rush after Elvis Dumerville. So then they come and they get a key to me, which I was pissed about because that was their cornerback, man. I thought that he had a hell of a season. He could have been an MVP or the defensive player of the year if he didn't get hurt the way he was playing. And then they get to do TJ Ward from the Cleveland Browns. I said, damn. I said, you know what? Those guys are building a championship around Peyton Manning. He's 38. He's not getting any younger. He's trying to win now. What the hell doing the Patriots?
And they're putting him, they're putting Peyton Manning in a position to win. And what I think it comes down to? This is what I think it comes down to. It comes down to arrogance. And it comes down to stubbornness and selfishness. And I think we all know who that centers around. As much as I love Bill Belichick, he's very arrogant and self-centered and selfish. And he's not. I think he still thinks that his system that he runs or the system that he runs is going to continue to carry him, to win this season after win the season, which it has. But it's not getting him over the hump. And now, I think the past seasons was really letting them know, like, okay, y'all getting just that close. Get somebody else in here who can, be a bigger threat, to the defense or whatever, and can help Tom Brady out even more. And
this one, I've seen that.
Right. And now it's like this season, it's really rearing its head. It's like, okay, this shit ain't gonna work no more. Let's get something.
You are now in the host queue.
Something, to change the system or get better players in the running system. Yeah, put more talent. Because like you said, Brady's not getting any younger. And he's a little bit older. He's not putting little young Tom Brady that came in and substituted some true blood for that game and, showed the poise and whatever. He needs to stay healthy. Like I said, you get rid of one of your best linemen, Logan Mankins, which
you are now off the host queue.
But you get rid of Logan Mankins for pretty much nothing. And now Brady is getting clobbered. Brady, man, I was like, hey.
Mankins don't even play.
I'll just say it like this, the way you're in trouble. They in trouble, man. Like they're not in the box. yeah, they're not a lot to win the AFC East this year. I don't think they are going to win the AFC East.
I don't even think they're going to the playoffs this year.
You don't?
Nope.
I don't know. I don't think I go that far.
I'm hard on those guys right now. I really don't think they're going to the playoffs, man. Right now, I know they're not going to be 500 after Sunday. You know, they gotta play Cincinnati. And nobody, like we said with Michigan, how nobody was afraid of them and they'll go to the big house and whoop on them. I don't think that Cincinnati will be afraid of them guys because they're complete right now. We might see Dalton stumble in the playoffs. But right now, that defense, they can run the ball with Giovanni Bernard and Jordan Hill. And then, you know, when Andy Dalton do want to throw it, who did he have? He got AJ Green.
Right.
And if you double team him, he got Muhammad Sanu. And when it comes to Darrell Revis, man, I think they should get their money back for this dude right now, man. That Revis Island has become a pond.
Yeah.
That's
not the Darrell. Yeah, that ain't the Darrell Revis from old, man.
No, not the New York Jets Darrell, man. They need a refund on that dude, man. You know how you got that 90-day refund? You know, when you go to like these stores and stuff, you be like, hey, it ain't 90 days yet. Let me return it. They need to return that investment. Let's just see what Brandon Bronner can do, man. Let's see what Brandon Bronner brings to the table when he comes in, too. Hopefully he can bring some nastiness to him. You know, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'd be surprised if they go into the playoffs, man, because right now, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. He has to prove me wrong, man. Only one time I've seen when I laughed and I said, wow, New England is in trouble, that they turned it around that year was 2003 when they won that Super Bowl. Remember when they got spanked by the Bills? And then they ended up turning that year around. That year, I definitely thought Kansas City was going to be the team, and nobody paid attention. New England was like the engine that could. They kept winning, and they won enough to the point where they got in the playoffs. When they got in the playoffs, that was it. You know, they hit their stride, and then they never looked back. But I just don't think it's the same personnel. These kids now are young. You know what I'm saying, James? They don't really know the Patriot way, man. They're trying to. Right now, I heard something, man, and you're probably aware of it. They said one of the reasons why Aaron Dotson's not playing because he's immature.
Yeah. Yeah, I read that a couple of days ago. Yeah,
I said, man, what's so immature about him? Because, you know, it was so strange to me to see that, you know. And I was like, man, you know, did you see that on Monday too? You probably scratched your head like I did. Like, damn, you know, I thought Aaron Dobson and Kimbo Thompson was healthy. How come they're not playing? I know you thought that too. That was weird for me. Like, okay, these guys are healthy, but they're not playing. Didn't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah, but see, Kendall Tompkins and Aaron Johnson's not no match for Demarius Thomas and Julian Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders and Wes Welker. You know, only guys you can may put up against them if you're trying to go blow for blow with New England. It's like a Julian Edelman and the Broncos runs at 100%. So it's really like Julian Edelman and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely a fan for this year, man.
Yeah. I want to get into this week's matchup and kind of see. Well, give my take on who I think. Well, what games are going to be like, you know, games of the week. One of them stands out, man. I'm just trying to look at the schedule. And Arizona and Denver, man.
Yes.
That's going to be a hell of a game. You know what? I don't understand this. I think it's a timing issue. Exactly. I really think it's a timing issue because I lived in Arizona for a year, and Denver and Arizona have like the same time schedule, and right now they're 3 hours behind us. So when they playing at 4:05 here, 105 there.
Okay.
So that's their 1 o'clock game or whatever. But why can't it be later? You know what I'm saying?
I agree. If I had to choose, man, I would actually move that New England game to like a 4 o'clock game. Hell, just even a 1 o'clock game, because I feel like they're going to get spanked at home against Cincinnati. And then I will move to see it, or even that Seattle versus Washington game. Well, you can move any of those two, be my guest. Take your pick. It wouldn't matter to me, but I think that game definitely should be highlighted at a later time.
Yeah, because Arizona.
You are now in the host queue.
Are the two of the top teams in the NFL.
You are now off the host.
They're the two top teams. So why not put them on prime time? I know they schedule, these games way before, like the TV scheduling or whatever, but they can make an exception. I'd rather see this game, the Arizona-Denver game, than, like you said, and I'm a New England fan as well, than to see New England and Cincinnati. Because I think Cincinnati going to put it on. New England still licking their wounds, man. Kansas City beat the hell out of them.
And they still got question marks because that's a Kansas City team too. And people were like, they're 1-2. They're not that good. And for them to do what they did against New England, who basically barely escaped against the Oakland Raiders, they have more questions than they do answers right now. So I thought that'd be a better slot, man, for them to go into, the Arizona Denver. And that's going to be a good one. I want to get your take. Who do you think has that game? Or who do you think is going to come out on top on that game?
To be honest,
yeah,
I think Arizona is going to win. And the reason I'm picking Arizona is because they have the same makeup almost. Not as physical, but they have the same makeup as the Seahawks. And I really think that the Seahawks are the Denver Broncos' kryptonite. And
we've seen this.
The Cardinals may be a little chip off the old block of kryptonite. And I think they're going to, when you get physical with the Denver Broncos receivers, they kind of tuck tail, man. Kind of tuck their tail. Right. They tuck tail and let, be having Peyton Manning old ass back there running for his life. You know what I'm saying? And he can't, Peyton Manning can't move like that. He ain't no Cam Newton or somebody.
It's like cornerbacks, man. The cornerbacks.
Patrick Peterson and Ron Matthews came back. Who's the other guy? The dude with the 2 last names. Is it Roger Cromartie? Or he?
Yeah.
So it was Roger Cromartie, right?
Antonio Cromartie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that was a hell of a pickup, man. When they picked him up, I said, damn, I was pissed off. I said, they already got the Honey Badger and they got my man Peterson. Why do they need more help at the corner position? When him and Reason, before he became a firm, was an island, those guys was like the 2 of the most physical corners there was, man. They made the Jets that actual nasty team that they were. Now you got the big, physical Peterson, and now you got him, Antonio Cromartie on the side of him, and a Honey Badger right there along with him. Man, that's going to be a nice. And those are 2 big physical cornerbacks too. And it seems like that's, like you said, their kryptonite, where you get 2 big physical cornerbacks. It's not going back down. Antonio Cromartie ain't going to back down. It's gonna be a nasty one. That one I hope be on TV. I hope that one's on TV. I would definitely DVR.
And I want to talk about this team right quick. Who interests me, man?
Go.
that they got exposed last week, and the Atlanta Falcons, man, they play the Giants this week in New York, and
I think the Giants will pop them.
And my thing is, how do you get your ass whooped the way you did against Minnesota? And it wasn't quarterback. That was Teddy Bridgewater. That was his first start.
Hey, that guy was golden, didn't he?
Oh my God!
And he had like 300-something yards against him, didn't he?
Dude, I'm pulling this back up now.
He had 300-something yards to the touchdown. He ran one in. Because
when I looked at the score, I was like, oh, okay, they playing kind of neck and neck or whatever. And I look at it later, and I'm like 41 to 28. Jesus. So he threw for 317 yards.
I knew he was in them up, man.
He threw for 317.
And James, man, I gotta give a shout out to Matt Ashita too, man. That's my fantasy dude after Andrew Peterson got his up, man. Big up to Matt Ashita. Thank you for the 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, a lot of the injuries are helping people out in fantasy football, but I'm telling you, these rookies, Bridgewater, man, he looked pretty damn good.
He did.
I went back and watched some highlights of the game, and man, Bridgewater looked damn good. He looked damn good.
Yeah. He was everything we thought he'd be when they said he was going to go first until, Bortles started to peak. Bortles was okay, but he made some mistakes, but, Bridgewater basically was like he was meant to be there starting that game.
Uh-huh. And I'm going to pick one more game here that I think is going to be pretty interesting to me. The Houston
game.
Yeah, Houston and Dallas.
Interesting.
The battle of Texas. I'm taking Dallas.
Yeah, man. And that's another thing. I'm glad you mentioned that for it too, because I definitely wanted to talk on them and give them props because I think Tony Romo had a hell of a game that last game, and plus DeMarco Murray went crazy. Dez did his thing, and you can see it more or less about that offensive line. Everybody talks about wrong with Josh. Didn't get it small. They were complaining about going drafting for. But the Doug Freeze, all these guys that they got, Ryan Smith and did not front. The one I know for sure that DeMarco Murray, I damn well, I know for sure. It's a fact that Tony Romo happy. He didn't even get that shot point at the game. When did you ever see Tony Romo at 21 in the game? I mean, that's that once. They look pretty good, and who knows how long they're gonna have to, Tony Romo is slow, man. He's the biggest stepper in high to football. So it's like, yeah, let's see. He played good that game. Let's see if he can follow it up with another. But that's one of the things I'm definitely glad you mentioned because that whole line there made them look good. Because they destroyed the Saints, man.
Yeah, they did. They just
and that defense was good.
Yeah. It affected the same time. But I think those 2 games, the Arizona and Denver is definitely going to be, to me, I think it's going to be the game of the week. And
definitely keep my eye out on that Baltimore Indy too.
Oh yeah, Baltimore Indy. I think that's going to be what it is. I think it's gonna be a nice little game. I think it's gonna be slow from the beginning. I think it's gonna pick up like in the second half, the fourth quarter. And I think Baltimore's gonna end up getting. I think Indy gonna continue to kind of go through their growing pains. They had 2 weeks. Indy had 2 weeks where they played some little. I don't know if you want to call them cupcake NFL things, but kind of some easy wins. You know what I'm saying? A couple of easy wins, but now they playing a strong, tough Baltimore team, and they gonna punch them in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? So I think this week is gonna be a pretty good week for the NFL. So like I said, Saturday, Sunday. Hey, it's gonna be a good sport. I think it's gonna be a good sports week. Baseball playoffs early in the week, then it's leading to Saturday and Sunday college football and then NFL. Man, this is gonna be a nice.
I love October. Man.
Yes, man. October.
It starts to peak, man. And then the NBA soon and I'm supposed to do everything peak around the time, man. Kind of like if I'm 40, we get to eat our cake and eat another piece on top of that.
I'm wondering if we wait to do the NBA preview. Wait like another week or so. So I'm kind of excited for the NBA season. Because I actually like this rookie class that came out.
Oh yeah,
so
rookie class.
Yeah, I kind of like this rookie class. So, because I think they're gonna have an immediate impact on the league this year.
Yeah, because I seen Rondo hurt too. So Marcus Smart gonna be one of them until final.
Yep. So I can't wait to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? But as always, man, it's been a very fun show. We'd like to thank our producer, Quincy Lewis, the Hood House for letting us broadcast here on Beyond the Bleachers on E-Block Radio for our third episode. We'll be back at you next Wednesday. Same time, 7 o'clock. Hopefully we can do another 2-hour show. And I told him too, I told him we can do 2 hours. We used to do back in the day, we used to do 4. So we used to talk for 2 more hours off it. we used to talk from 6 to 10, man, just all the way through, man. But people got, we work a little bit more. We done got a little older. I'm like, oh man, I gotta be in bed about 10:30, later. I'm almost out, man. But I want to thank everybody for listening, and I'll thank you guys for who's ever going to listen to the show later on. Like I said, I know some of you guys are probably at work or whatever. I want to thank everybody for all their supporting the show. So you and I are about to sign off, get us some rest, and do some more research over the week, and we're gonna bring you another good episode of Beyond the Bleachers next Wednesday. So thanks, y'all be blessed.
Thank you.